This is a new ad from Saturn. It's making the airwaves, capitalizing on something we've been talking about for months, the war on the wealthy. Seems like they're selling a social trend more than a car.
Excessively well priced. All new Saturn View. Rethink excess.
Our insiders are on the money tonight. Rob Frankel, branding expert with robfrankel.com, and Laura Reese, a partner with Reese & Reese. Okay, guys, rethinking excess. Rob, what do you think? Is this going to work?
No, it's not going to work. I love Saturn, though. You know, they're sort of like the little brand that couldn't. They keep trying to come up with really good stuff, and they just keep missing. The problem with this campaign is that it's a campaign against an issue, which is excess. Cool, except for the fact that the only people who remember the excess are now 40 and 50 years old. And two, this could work just as well for Manolo Blahnik. Everybody against overprice. They keep missing the point, which is, what is the Saturn brand about?
Yeah, Laura, I mean, Saturn's heyday was in 1994. They've lost almost 20% since then in sales. Is a campaign like this going to turn it around?
No campaign is going to turn around. I mean, they don't just need a big idea from Deutsch. They need to fix the branding problem. It's not an advertising problem. It's not a product problem. Saturn has a fundamental, ginormous branding problem. The problem is the brand doesn't stand for anything. They've expanded the brand. After that high water mark, they had people in love with it. 44,000 people showed up in Spring Hill, Tennessee to worship the brand. Today, kids don't think Saturn is cool or hip or anything. They don't know what it is. It's not a different kind of car company anymore. It's just like every other car company today. It's into everything. It's trying to appeal to everybody, and it's going nowhere.
Yeah, Rob, I mean, I don't even know who they're targeting with this because, you know, when they talk about excess, people spending too much, you know, it seems like it's targeted towards younger people, but then in one ad, they're making fun of, like, a Paris Hilton type person. That's not going to make younger people want to buy it.
Yeah, there's sort of one of these kind of backwards kind of things that they're doing here. Maybe they're thinking, okay, their parents might remember excess, so their parents are going to maybe try and sell it to their kids who might be driving an inexpensive car. Clearly, they're not going after the parents because when you're 40 or 50, you don't want a $20,000 car.
Okay,
and if you're a parent with a kid, your kid certainly is not going to buy what you recommend.
Right. What should they do?
Well, the really ironic thing, I think, one point to bring out is the point of excess and rethink American. Hey, the last time I looked, America is all about excess. We love excess. We are driving big SUVs, big trucks, big gas guzzlers. We're supersizing everything, including our enormous waistlines. America is about excess. So
yeah,
the tagline itself is problematic.
Except I'll tell you something, Laura, you know, I agree with you that people are excess in those things. But what these guys are talking about are this luxurious lifestyle of the rich and famous excess, which when you get right down to it, if you look at the numbers, we're a teeny type of people that we all watched on television.
Okay, so we're good at tearing them down. What I want to know is what they should do. What would you recommend?
I would recommend they refocus the brand. They should be what they were at the very beginning, a different car company. The problem is they try to expand and move the brand upscale. They've tried to sell more expensive, larger Saturns, and that has undermined what the brand has stood for.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be against
Rob,
success if you have those big cars.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, here's the problem. You've heard Laura mention their tagline several times. They're a different kind of car company. Listen really closely, and it doesn't tell you a thing.
Okay.
But they really, and she's right, they need to do what I always say is they have to present themselves so they're perceived as the only solution to their prospect's problem.
Interesting.
You don't do that with generic messages that really don't mean anything to anybody.
They
like
gotta
put a stake in the sand.
The solution is buy Japanese. That's what everyone does.
All right, we got to leave it there. Thanks to both of you for joining us.